Hey, my name is X, and today we're looking at the Exquisite Basic Series non-scale 6-inch Godzilla X Kong the New Empire SHIMO action figure from Hiya Toys. So this is actually the second Hiya Toys figure I've reviewed on the channel, but this time I'm older, I've got more experience, more subscribers, so I think it's gonna go way better. Where's... Oh, not again! Come on, where is it? Not again! Okay, she's gotta be around here somewhere. If I just look around... No, SHIMO, get off him! No, come on, SHIMO. But getting all that out of the way, this is actually an incredible figure. I'm acting like you don't already know that. But before we get on with the actual review, I'd just like to point out that this time I'm not reviewing a figure that everyone's already reviewed. And I promise that from now on, I will never, ever review another figure that's already been reviewed 1,000 times. Anyway, it's time to review what might actually be the best figure in my entire collection. Oh boy. Firstly, let's take a look at the painting and sculpting. From head to tail, SHIMO's painted and sculpted absolutely beautifully. Wait, what was that? My god. Enhance 50%. 100%. 200%. How the heck do they paint eyes this tiny? It must be magic. Here's my pinky for reference. This is the same kind of incredible paint detailing that we saw on the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2019. And if we take a look below the eyes, the mouth and teeth are also very nicely painted and sculpted. And I can understand if people say that the teeth are a bit sloppily painted, but in my opinion, it's completely fine. What is amazing though is the great sculpting they've done on the inside of the mouth. For the rest of the body, the painting and sculpting is also great. And I love how they've done the thousands and thousands of scales on SHIMO's body, as well as how there's a beautiful iridescent shine to SHIMO. What they've also done amazingly is the spines on SHIMO's back. As long as having a nice blue gradient, they have a hint of purple there that appears in certain lighting. So SHIMO has a great sculpt, paint, all at a good price. But does SHIMO have good articulation as well? Well, I'm happy to say that her articulation is actually great. Well, great might be a strong word, but still good. SHIMO has a ball joint at her head that can go a full 360, as well as opposable jaw and opposable tongue. She has a ball joint at her shoulder, a bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, ankle and foot movement. And moving on to the torso, oh, no. You thought that was the end. Who am I kidding? You already know about the finger articulation. For some reason, Hiya decided that it was a necessity to put finger articulation on this figure. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm not complaining. The torso is made of 3 separate parts that actually allow SHIMO to move quite a bit. This articulation is further helped by the notches between the spines that allow SHIMO to straighten her back more. Then she has a ball joint at the top of her legs, which allow the legs to do a 360 rotation. You can actually see this ball joint if you move the legs enough. Then there's a bend at the knee, although this kind of confuses me. It looks like there's a double bend at the knee, but then when you actually look at where the second bend would be, it kind of looks like it's been painted over. I don't know if there's actually meant to be a joint here, or that it just looks like it, or maybe I'm just crazy, but I mean, you can tell me down in the comments section. Don't tell me I'm crazy. Then there's similar ankle articulation, but this time the foot articulation is very different. It's the same kind of thing we saw on Ghidorah, and actually works really well here. And finally, there's the tail. The articulation here isn't necessarily bad, but it's more akin to older releases, and isn't perfect. It's actually similar to their Godzilla 2019, although it is a little bit better. So we're 4 for 4. Articulation, sculpt, paint, and price. What could be wrong with this figure? Well, this is the point in the video where I meant to point out the bad things about this figure, but to be honest, I can't really think of anything. I mean, sure, certain parts of the articulation could be better, but it's not something that ruins the figure. So this figure is perfect. Except when we come to size comparisons. Here's SHIMO next to Godzilla, Rodan, Muto, Luffy, Ghidorah, and finally Steve. And everyone with SHIMO standing up. So, yes, admittedly, compared to other Hiya Toys figures, SHIMO is a little bit small. but she is a very good size and still towers over other figures. Now finally, let's move on to accessories. Oh. Yeah, this figure doesn't actually come with any accessories, but I'm not that mad because of the price. And we all know there's going to eventually be some kind of Frostbite Blast version. So this is the Hiya Exquisite Basic SHIMO. A beautiful looking figure for a great price. I would definitely recommend this if you're a fan of Godzilla, or really not a fan of Godzilla. This has been X, signing off. I'll see you guys next time.